Welcome to the SVG-TV News. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. Lime and its country manager Leslie Jack have parted ways. Jack, who took up the position in October of 2011, will spend his last day on the job tomorrow. He's leaving the position as CEO as the completed merger of Lime and Columbus Communications flow takes effect. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News this evening, Jack made it clear that he is not bitter in leaving the company after 15 years of service. Instead, he says he's thankful for the great learning opportunities afforded to him.
Not at all bitter, man. Come on, I can't be bitter. Lime has really provided a unique opportunity for me. Over the years, I've worked with Lime for about 15 years. I've started as an account representative and worked my way through about 5 or 6 different titles before reaching the post of general manager. So I've gained a lot of experience from Lime. So I'm really thankful more than anything else for the opportunity that they provided. I'm thankful for the opportunity to work with the staff that I was able to work with and assist them in their own personal development as well. So, for me, it's really far from bitter.
Jack says a pivotal time in his stint as manager was when he, along with other employees, were able to do more staff training to enhance the culture at the workplace.
Particularly difficult time, but with the support of the local team, we were able to turn things around and have a fairly successful line over the last 3 years. So I'm really not leaving on a low, I'm leaving on a high, because Lime has been doing well and continues to do well. There's a plan in place for Lime's further development. So, again, I'm really leaving on a high more than anything else.
When asked what his plans are in moving forward, Jack says he will first take some rest, then probably venture into some projects that he's been engaged in occasionally.
Which one of these projects that might be the best, one for us to forge ahead with in the short, long, medium to long term. I will take a small rest. I'll tell you the truth, I've never been out of a job leaving since I left school. So that's even more reason for me to be really, really thankful. So from the first day I left school, I probably had 2 weeks off from school, and that was it. So, being out of a job is fairly new, but again, I've gained so much experience from working initially as a newsman, and then as a banker, and also my first job really was an accountant. So I've gained sufficient extensive experience through the various opportunities that were provided for me over the years, that I can definitely move on to something.
And we apologize for that low audio quality of that interview with Leslie Jack. Jack's replacement at Lime has not yet been announced. This country needs to pay immediate and closer attention to its current expenditure, specifically the cost of public wages and salaries. This was pointed out by Country Manager of First Citizens SVG, Nolan Gabriel, at the company's annual Global Market Outlook Seminar, which covers the economic outlook from a global, regional, and local point of view. Gabriel says, as it relates to SVG, current expenditure as it relates to SVG's current expenditure, it is key to note the high cost of wages and salaries of the public sector, adding that this issue must be looked at, as it will not be sustainable for the country going forward.
We are going to continue to be in a position where our current expenditures are exceeding our current revenues if that does not receive some attention at some point. Politically unpopular, yes, but sometimes necessary things are politically unpopular.
Meanwhile, the First Citizens SVG Country Manager also provided a summary of the business and economic opportunities here and explains that the completion of the Argyle International Airport, projected for year-end, presents a huge opportunity for the country as it addresses the issue of access.
It will be key that this is completed because really a lot of what we are investing in is dependent on that. The potential hotel investment in Mount Wynn is of course going to increase our hotel rooms, because no one is going to come bring a full plane load of people to our country where we don't have a place to put them. So it is important, and we see that in the budget address. It also addresses giving some concessionary terms to hotels and hoteliers for development of rooms and their facilities. The opportunities also exist in the physical infrastructure projects on the way in our roads and bridges and seaports. The partial recovery of the global economy could create a boost in export volumes for us, the exports of services, particularly tourism, and in the increase in remittances. Tourism should also get a boost from low oil prices and the investments that we're making in alternative energy, and the external accounts will benefit also from those lower oil prices.
Gabriel, however, explains that among the constraints that are projected to confront the country will be the weak growth in some of the key tourist source markets, particularly Europe.
Cost of regional travel is a huge constraint for us, because our largest tourism source market is being affected by that, directly affected by that. The fluctuation in commodity prices will also be an issue for us. The continuing fiscal tightness and challenging socioeconomic conditions will be a constraint, because as we invest very heavily in other projects, it takes away from other projects, because the amount of money we have is really, it's not really huge. So we really have to tighten our belts and buckle down to ride it out, okay? Another constraint will be the diminishing and increased competition for FDI flows. Because just because we're doing all of this investment in infrastructure, it doesn't mean that we're going to get those FDI projects. We're still going to have to compete with places like the Bahamas, which people perceive as, already investors perceive as slightly higher based on slightly better based on Chris's presentation before. So not all islands are regarded in the same manner. So it means that we have to be ready for competition.
Additionally, Gabriel says that the uncertainty of the Petro-Carib agreement, which serves as one of SVG's sources of funding, should be of great concern to all Vincentians.
This item that came out this week spoke to Venezuela quietly dismantling this arrangement in order to avoid a default for themselves this year. So it is left to see how this will fall out and how this will really affect us and affect that funding source for us. And also a current constraint for us will be competition from Cuba as a tourist destination, as U.S. relations are reestablished, and also some of the developments and tourism developments that are going on in other Caribbean islands, such as the Bahamas.
Vincentians suffering from eye ailments will now be able to travel to Venezuela to receive treatment under the Miracle Mission project. This is Venezuela's version of Vision Now, which this country established with Cuba in 2005, and where over 2,000 patients have received treatment. The signing of an agreement for the project by Venezuela's Vice President Jorge Ariaza and Prime Minister Dr. Alf Gonzalez was done on Tuesday at the Hugo Chavez Fuel and Distribution Plant at Lomans Bay. Prime Minister Gonzalez noted that the eye care program, started by Cuba's leader Fidel Castro and Venezuela's late President Hugo Chavez, is an extraordinary act of selflessness. Dr. Gonzalez says it is easier for patients to travel to Venezuela and conduct follow-up sessions.
They have the facilities to do the work, so it's easier for people to get from here to Venezuela, and for any work which is required to be done here can be done here very easily by specialists of both countries, including from Venezuela and those from Cuba, to come and work here under this particular program. There are some outstanding cases from the earlier period which still remain, but those are very few. And of course, on an ongoing basis, people will develop problems with their eyes. So this is a program of extraordinary selflessness by the government of Venezuela.
Venezuela's Vice President Ariaza described the Vision Project as a basic miracle that makes a tremendous impact on the lives of people.
Maybe there are people who can't see or who can be able to see for the last 10 years, and after 1 week after the surgery they can see their children, their grandchildren again, and they don't have to pay for that, because that's a right they have. They have the right to be healthy. They have the right to have happiness, and that's what President Chavez taught us, what Fidel taught us, what President Maduro is continuing, and I believe many things can be done even better, and that's what people like you, Camarade, Prime Minister, have been doing for the last years.
And daughter of the late Venezuelan president, that should be Rosa Chavez, who is the president of the Miracle Mission Venezuela, says that she is touched that her father helped start such an endeavor that still helps many today.
Y quizá un poco triste de alguna manera porque no.
Maybe I'm a bit sad because
no vine antes, no lo acompañé. No recuerdo ni siquiera por qué.
I did come here with him, and I can't even remember why I did come with him.
No vine para acá antes.
I did come here before.
Y siempre Ralph nos invitaba cada vez que iba para allá, nos veíamos en otro país.
Always invited us, and we used to see each other in other countries.
Pero nunca es tarde y sé que él anda por acá con nosotros.
It's never too late.
De alguna manera y bueno, estoy muy feliz, contenta de poder ahora llevar a estas personas para allá, para
to be able to bring this.
When men pray, great things will happen. That's according to Apostle of the Triumph Covenant Church, Samuel Young, whose congregation will be hosting a prayer march and rally here on Saturday. The march will begin at 4 p.m. at Heritage Square in Kingstown, from where persons will be led to strategic places to pray, then return to Heritage Square for the rally. Apostle Young says though the event is targeting the men of SVG, the entire family is invited to come out and give support to the men.
Just another event hosted by another church. This event is an assignment and a mandate. Men are foundational. Man is the foundation to every society. Man has been displaced. When men are out of place, the woman is displaced. So she has to function in a capacity that shouldn't really be hers. And as a result, children become displaced. And so this function is calling Vincentian men again back to the basic fabric of society.
Apostle Young points out that fatherlessness is becoming a very prevalent issue within the family, which can have a negative impact on the society. And this is one of the issues the rally is hoping to address.
And so where St. Vincent and the Grenadines is concerned, we believe there will be tremendous healing. We believe there is going to be great salvation. There is going to be great deliverance. We are believing, we are asking for the presence of God to return in our nation. We are going to initiate the process with a march, and so the theme when men pray is as a result of the pattern, the biblical pattern we have seen. Something is going to happen to St. Vincent when we gather 1,000 men in unity to lift their voice on Heritage Square to pray for our nation.
Coordinator of the march and rally, Gary Martin, says that this event comes amidst a lot of political division and other distractions that threaten to cause the men of SVG to fall short of their potential and responsibilities.
At Heritage Square on April the 11th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And so we're extending an invitation for all the men throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to come out and to pray, to call on the name of the Lord. And God is always looking for men to stand in the gap, because men, you are the intercessors. You are the prophet, the priest, and the king. And you are the foundation of the family, the foundation of the community, and by extension, the foundation of the country. So you're very important in the eyes of God.
Meanwhile, Apostle Young says the event will also be used to honor the men who have made great contributions to this country, such as Dr. Cecil Cyrus and Dr. Errol Daniel. He is encouraging all males in SVG to attend Saturday's event, not just to make a physical statement, but a spiritual one as well.
It's men from all walks of life, and even though we say men, we want to see the young boys, we want to see the youth. We want to call men back to accountability and responsibility to rebuild this society, to strengthen the fabric of this nation, and they are the building block. And mind you, during this function, we are going to honor key men that has really made significant contribution to our nation in a wide genres, such like the medical field, the corporate world. One of our ministers who have had 50 years in ministry, that's Dr. Errol Daniel. We would like to honor him. We've got other men that have served the nation very well. So it's not just another gathering.
And evangelist Jonathan Muckett, who is the public relations officer for the 1,000 Men Pray, March and Rally, says the men of SVG can come out to the event and be surrounded by others who know and understand their struggles and be blessed.
As we've seen, many tragedies has passed us by and left us with little to no damage at all. And the Lord is warning that if we don't come together and show him that we still fear him, that we still love him and respect who he is, that it's not going to be long before we're not spared. So this prayer, it's for families, yes. It's for the nation, moreover, and for the world, the globe. This is a whirlwind that is happening in the world, an effect that is going to transform nations. And we want to let St. Vincent and the Grenadines know that we can be a part of that change that happens throughout the world if we come together and we pray. We want men to know that there are men out here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are fervent for God, who love him, who fight for our families and our homes and fight for our nation. So if you're searching for those men, if you're searching for those young men, old men, young boys who really love God, we're here. It may not seem to be that way because we're far between.
Plans are now being finalized for the official opening of the SVG Gospel Fest 2015. The festival, which is into its 13th year, will be officially opened this Sunday, April 12th at the Victoria Park. The night's program, dubbed Restoring the Land, will feature an evening of special prayers and praise for the nation. The SVG Gospel Fest Committee says, out of concern for the state of the country, it has invited Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, members of Cabinet and Parliament, the Leader of the Opposition and members of other political parties to be present, with prayers being said for St. Vincent and the Grenadines by various pastors and church leaders. The Reverend Brent St. Jean of the Seventh-day Adventist Church will also deliver a special message to the nation. Addresses will come from Chairman of the Gospel Fest Committee, Fidel Taylor, with the Minister of Culture, Cecil Mackey, officially declaring the festival open. SVG Gospel Fest is a month-long festival of zonal and national gospel showcases from across the country in music, song, dance and drama that culminate with the National Gospel Showcases on April 26th at the Victoria Park. The 2015 festival is being held again under the theme, Restoring the Land. Carol Edwards, principal of the Spring Village Methodist School, is the final winner of the Lime SVG-TV Anniversary 4G Tablet Trivia Giveaway. Edwards received her brand new gadget along with a speaker from Lime marketing assistant Veronique Williams here at SVG Television's studios yesterday. The educator says she was persuaded by family members to text the trivia answer and was shocked that she won. She says she had it in her budget to purchase a tablet and is happy that she won the device. She also took the opportunity to congratulate SVG-TV on its 35th anniversary and thanked Lime for their gesture.
I was encouraged by my husband and children to participate in the SVG Trivia Text campaign, and I did so. And here I am a proud winner of the Lime 4G tablet. I just want to say congratulations to SVG-TV for 35 years of service to the nation. May your establishment grow from strength to strength. And to Lime, I say thank you for partnering with SVG-TV in this worthwhile venture. Because of this partnership, I'm a proud owner of the Lime 4G tablet. Thank you, Lime, and I encourage everyone who has not yet signed up with Lime to do so, because winning with Lime is not a crime.
Lime Marketing Assistant Veronique Williams congratulated Edwards on her win and says the joint venture with SVG-TV is the company's way of giving back to customers.
It was amazing. When we got the call, when Keisha called us and she told us, okay, we want us to be a part of this initiative, we were like, okay, we have to be a part of this, and we must say any little thing that Lime can do. When you say upgrade Vinci, because it's no longer just Lime, it's upgrade Vinci, and I'm always saying these are the little things you have to do to help persons upgrade. You have to take part in little stuff like this so that you can spread your wings, and we're just grateful for the opportunity in partnering with you guys, and we must say congrats to the 4 winners and Miss Edwards being the final winner.
Sales, Marketing and Promotional Officer at SVG Broadcasting, Keisha Bilinji, thanked everyone who took part in the trivia and the various businesses for their congratulatory messages.
I would like to thank all the participants who took part in our anniversary trivia, and more so, congratulations to our 4 winners of the Lime 4G Ready tablet. I would like to say a hearty thank you to Lime. Without them, this initiative wouldn't have been possible. Our viewers and our loyal customers, and again, thanks to all the businesses who took the time out to congratulate SVG-TV on 35 years. Again, thank you.
And the winners of the Flow Columbus Communications SVG More to Love Weekend Getaway at the Bookament Bay Resort have been announced. The winners of the Valentine's Day promotion, which began on February 11th and concluded on March 21st, are Cassandra Fiona Duncan and Mikhail Burton. They both will receive 2 gift vouchers valid for a weekend stay at the Bookament Bay Resort. The promotion was centered around broadband packages and was done as a way of engaging existing and new customers. The promotion has had 5 weekly winners. One of the weekend getaway winners, Mikhail Burton, says that though she did not expect to win, she is very happy that she did.
I must thank Almighty God and the management and staff of Flow Columbus, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, also to Bookament Bay Resort. I just want to say that when I got this news, I was very surprised. I asked the young lady if she showed, because it was All Foods Day. And I am so happy for this day, because I think I deserve it. Because a few days before, my son had gotten an accident and I was very helpless, me and my son. So I just want to say thanks very much for this gift, and my day will be well spent. My weekend will be well spent.